Champlain Valley Sports Nation Audio Vault, powered by Advanced Welding Institute. Now starting new classes monthly. Learn more at awi.edu. Champlain Valley Game Night.
Matthew Ross from TSN 690 joining us in the TikTok Tours guest line. He had an interesting article recently featuring former Expos All-Star Jose Vidro talking about the possibility of a team coming back to Montreal. I'm sure it would be called the Expos again, to play baseball in Montreal, part of Major League Baseball. Let's talk with Matthew Ross right now on the show. Matthew, thanks for the time. And what was, I got a chance to read the article. Good stuff for the fans that didn't get a chance to see it yet on the tsn.ca website. What was Vidro's main message?
Well, thanks for having me. He, former three-time All-Star Jose Vidro, his message was he absolutely loved his time in Montreal. He and his wife and their family really thought that Montreal was a beautiful city. They enjoyed playing there. A little sad sometimes when there weren't that many fans in the stands, obviously, but he really loved playing in Montreal. The final year of the Expos, he signed a long-term deal, thinking that the team would stay. So he was an Expo through and through.
I know he was involved in the organization, in that time when not only as it's noted in the article, Matthew, not only the time when he ended up ultimately moving with the team as he was under contract with the organization to Washington, D.C., but just in that difficult year when they were involved in a playoff race when the team was MLB owned and unable to call up guys in September.
Yeah, I mean it really sticks in the craw of a lot of fans here in Montreal. Those who were still going to the stadium at that point towards the end, and they were not allowed to have September 1st call-ups down the stretch due to budgetary constraints. So the players absolutely just felt really betrayed, and it was like a prick going into a balloon. Essentially, they were a tired bunch, and really, it speaks to competitive imbalance when you're the only team in Major League Baseball that can't expand your roster. And so that was a crying shame that was kind of swept under the rug in the Major League Baseball circles, and nobody really talks about it. You know, you look at hockey and the Phoenix Coyotes, who were owned by the NHL, and they went to the conference finals and spent like other teams. And so when you look at that example and what happened here in Montreal, it's kind of a travesty.
You know, it's interesting. You bring up Jose enjoying his time in Montreal, and listen, we all know, like, who wouldn't? It's a great city. One of the co-hosts who just left would probably make it his second home if he could afford a second home. So it's a great area to spend your time in, especially if you're a young athlete. You know, what better city to be? But, you know, there's also the issues, a lot of these players growing up in warmer climates. Now, I understand you're playing at the O, and it's an indoor stadium, climate control. That's fantastic. But you know, something that we see all the time, Matt, is different teams leaving because the lease is up with the stadium or the stadium's falling down, the arena's falling down. And that was always kind of a rumor, an issue. Obviously, the O wasn't in peak form when Montreal left. So do you ever get the sense that players had issues with the field, that it was driven, that the Expos leaving had something also to do with just playing in a bad stadium, kind of outside of Montreal, whereas in Montreal would have helped them succeed a lot better?
I think it can be summed up in a tweet yesterday from Curt Schilling, who was tweeting with a bunch of people about, funny enough, the Expos, and he called the Olympic Stadium a crap hole. So, you can look that up. I think he's Gehrig38 on Twitter if you look through his timeline. But it is not liked by the players. It is not liked by the fans. It is an albatross on the city, unfortunately. And absolutely, you think back to the 80s, Andre Dawson signed a blank check with the Cubs and said, you guys fill it in, because he couldn't play due to his bad knees on that turf anymore in Olympic Stadium. It's not a Major League Baseball park by any stretch. It's temporary at best, and certainly if a team ever came back here, they'd need a downtown stadium. Everyone's aware of that.
So how would that process go then? I mean, I heard some of the rumors about the Rays clean house, and Madden is gone, and Andrew Friedman, their GM, is gone to go run the Dodgers. And there was some speculation that perhaps this is all happening because the Rays have real intentions to go move to Montreal. And whether that ends up being the case, we'll see. But if a team ends up agreeing to go to Montreal, how would there end up being a new stadium? How would that process go about? Are there taxpayers in Montreal? Are the taxpayers potentially willing to at least help with a new stadium?
Well, there's a committee that's looking at all options right now. The the Montreal Board of Trade, a law firm called BCF, and Ernst & Young, the accounting firm, teamed with the Montreal Baseball Project. The four of them formed a company called Montreal Home Run Project, and they put out a feasibility study about how legit it is to count on a fan base and corporate support here. But in addition to that, they're exploring avenues. They're talking to people. I can tell you, without naming names, unfortunately, that they have spoken to large entities here in Montreal. That there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes. That the political channels have been opened and dialogues are taking place. So obviously, everyone knows that needs to happen before anything happens in terms of getting a team back. But absolutely, the file, if you will, is slowly progressing.
I know when they had the exhibition games last year, and they're going to have more this coming season, too, a pair of exhibition games involving the Blue Jays. The crowds were impressive, and they're expected to be this time around. Can we expect, though, Matthew, would you think that if a team moved there full-time, do we know for sure that they'd get the necessary fan support?
Well, I think you'd have to look at what happened in hockey in Winnipeg, where the Winnipeg Jets are a small market, smallest arena. When they got their team back, when Atlanta moved there, they had a situation where if you wanted to be a season ticket holder, you had to buy 5 years, you had to commit to 5 years worth of season tickets right off the bat. And I think something similar like that would have to fly here just to prove the seriousness of the market, to prove that there'd be a stable attendance situation. All the factors we all know, all the stuff that happened to the franchise and that alienated the fans. But the major component, obviously, is having a downtown stadium, which is, close to the, legendary nightlife of Montreal and makes it easier for business people and the corporate community to attend games. And certainly in this day and age, the telecommunications, the TV deals, all that stuff makes attendance less of a requirement. Look at the Rays; they're making money every year. But yes, we certainly would need attendance.
Matthew, I'm so happy you brought up that Winnipeg Jets situation because although it's a different sport and obviously Canada's favorite sport, when that did happen, the return of the Jets to Winnipeg, I remember it was like in minutes season tickets. There's obviously different types of season tickets, and season tickets of the. I'm forgetting the team that played in Manitoba, the AHL team. But, if you were a season ticket holder, the Moose, yeah, geez, I should have known that, right? There were only a few choices that would have been. So, obviously, if you were a season ticket holder of that team, you would have already, been a leg up. So that would have been helpful as well. So maybe they could also figure out something along those lines. Vladimir Guerrero recently saying that if he wanted to, or if he was going to go into the Hall of Fame, and a lot of people believe he has a good chance, he'll be eligible in 2017. He would go in as an Expo, and that's got to be a great thing to any Expo fan that remembers the great years he had up at the O. I remember growing up, he was one of my favorite players. He'd swing at anything. And for the Expos to have the logo donned in the Hall of Fame, I mean, if it wasn't already a golden opportunity for Montreal to get another baseball team back, that would probably help a lot.
Absolutely. There's Vladimir Guerrero and certainly Tim Raines is the other one that's on the bubble at the moment, unfortunately. But for Guerrero, it was really big news up here in Canada, and kind of surprising too. It's borderline as to which team he had most of an impact with stat-wise, maybe slightly in favor of Montreal. But you'd think a guy who still has a franchise in the Angels that embraces him would say that just for the sake of staying in their good graces, much like Andre Dawson said when he talking about the Cubs because the Expos didn't exist, and Gary Carter with the Mets towards the end of the Expos franchise. So it is quite surprising, but it's not surprising when you look at who has said it. Vladimir Guerrero marches to the beat of his own drum, and obviously this favored Expos fans.
Hey, is there any talk at all, anybody trying to make the argument that Pedro should put on the Expos cap?
Unfortunately, no. He played 4 years here in Montreal. He would have loved to stay. He didn't want to go, but he'll go in as a Red Sox. But I can tell you one thing. There has been a huge groundswell of people trying to figure out what to do in Montreal to go down to Cooperstown. So expect a lot of Expo jerseys and expect Pedro to shout out Montreal in his speech.
Pretty cool, and certainly looking forward to the possibility, hopefully in the near future, of there being a team full-time in Montreal. Matthew Ross from TSN 690, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks so much, guys.
All righty. Matthew joining us in the TikTok Jewelers guest line here on Champlain Valley Game Night. Coming up, the Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers coverage has begun on 101.3 ESPN. Boston Bruins hockey will preview that game